Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are having a happy Valentine's Day, or well, later on this evening. We decided to stay in tonight because the restaurants are just crowded out there and it's raining and we've been up all night anyway, so we're just going to chill out here in the house. And that's all good. But my friend called me up the other day and she said that she was cleaning out her freezers and if I wanted any of the food to come on over. So when I went over there, I said, I'll bring my cooler as one of those big ones. And she had that filled up, and she had filled up like 3 other cooler bags. And I was like, wow, I'm going to be doing good to fit all this in my freezer. So I get home and I was rearranging, trying to fit it all in. And then the next day, she's like, I'm still going through more freezer space if you want any of this. And so I went back over. I'm like, I don't know. My husband's thinking he's not going to be able to go shopping for anything because we got our freezers full, but we fit it all in, and I'll probably share some of it with other people. But it was just a blessing, and we are very grateful for it. And I'm not complaining because it's brought me some good things like berries. We love berries. These were good. She had several large bags of mixed berries, so I'm going to show you a recipe with these. And so while she was going through her freezers, I was going through her cookbooks, and I found this recipe called berry slump. And I'm like, slump? It didn't explain on the page what slump meant. And so I looked it up, and basically it's a Canada, New England thing. So those of you out there in that area could probably elaborate better on it. But basically, it's kind of like a cobbler, and the traditional way is to simmer it on the stove, and then you put these little dumplings on top, like a sweet dumpling on top, and they also call it grunt because the fruit grunts while it's sitting there steaming and stuff. So I'm going to do it the quick way in the oven, and I tried this already, so I know it's good. But yeah, the slump, I guess, means that it just, instead of like a cobbler puffs up on top, this slumps down into the berries and gets into all those juices and stuff. So I liked it, and I want to make it again and show you. And this is perfect to take to any kind of a gathering or party that you might be going to because it's quick and it's good warm or room temperature. So, and it's good with vanilla ice cream or Cool Whip, whichever you have on hand. So this is really simple. And it says to preheat your oven to 375. I got that going. It's going to beep here any second on me. And butter, or I sprayed a baking dish. This is like a 9 by 11. It says a 9-inch, or this was a 7 by 11. I figured it'll fit. It'll be all right. So you take 4 cups of berries, and I got approximately 4 cups. These are still half frozen. So last time I did this, there was a lot of juices in the bottom of the pan, but I didn't mind that because then you just take it and scoop it up on top of this cobbler part. And then you take a cup of sugar. Well, these are unsweetened, and when I made it last time, it was okay, but the berries were a little tart. My husband doesn't like the little seeds from the blackberries, I think it is. This has raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, and blueberries in it. But yeah, they get those little seeds get down in your teeth. But I'm going to go with 1.5 cups because it was kind of tart. But so you take, and it says to mix together the berries with 3/4 of the sugar. So we're going to go with almost all of the sugar. And then the rest we'll save for the topping. We'll just guesstimate there. That'll work. It's a little under 1 cup there. And because you want it to be sweet. You don't want to like pucker up. People bite into your what they think is going to be a good sweet cobbler, and it's tart. But yeah, you just stir that up in there, and then you just transfer that into your baking dish. This is pretty simple, y'all. I guess I better do it over here. So I put my apron on because I didn't want this berry juice all over my Valentine shirt. So we're going to put that in there. Get all them yummy juices and sugar out of there. Set that aside out of the way. There goes the oven. All right, I'm going to do that. Now it says to take a cup of flour and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a pinch of salt. So here's the baking powder and salt. I'm going to throw that into there. Let me scoot this over just a little bit and bring this over here. Here's my flour, cup of flour. The rest of the sugar. And then in this little dish, I have 2 tablespoons of butter and 1/4 of a cup of milk. And you just warm it up enough to let the butter melt. We're just going to throw that in there. And this is going to stir up and turn into kind of like a little batter, a little dough. Last time I did this, I did it with my hands, and it made I don't mind getting in there with my hands, though. Kind of messy. I don't want to do that today. I just stir it up all in there really good until it's incorporated with all that flour. Kind of looks like starting to look like a cookie dough, like a sugar cookie dough. And then it's a little thick. You just make sure it's all stirred in there good. I am going to get my hands in here, though, to spread it out. So we're going to make just spread it like little dumplings all along, little pats of it here and there. The last time I did this, I forgot to put the butter in, warm it up with the milk. I don't pay attention well to recipes. I try to wing it, and it sometimes gets me in trouble because I'm not paying attention. So, but it didn't hurt it, though, because I just took the butter and poured it all over top of the dumplings, and it still turned out good. The in-laws liked it. My husband liked it. He said it was okay other than the seeds. He doesn't care for the seeds, but I like it. It's very quick. And you just get all that incorporated down in there. And it's a lot of batter, so it's good to just spread it out, get it on there, best you know how. Might have been better if I used a spoon, but yeah, I'm stubborn. I always do things the hard way. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I rebelled when I was growing up. You tell me to do something, and I wanted to do the total opposite. I don't know why that was. It was funny because my mom doesn't remember that. I'm like, Mom, you don't remember how rebellious I was? She thought I was really sweet. Yeah, my sister hasn't forgotten. It's like, I learned from you, she said. I learned when to keep quiet. Yeah, just run and hide. Don't do what Kelly does. One of these days I'm going to get her on here and we'll give our testimonies together. She's very busy running her family around to different places, school events, and going off to see their son. My nephew is in the Army, and he's graduating and becoming an E6. I couldn't tell you what field, but he's stationed in Fort Sill, Oklahoma right now. And they went out there, and she texted me and said that they're going to go by and see the house that we used to live in back there, and hopefully she can find it. I said, take pictures, because I was like 6 or 7, and that's the place where I got saved, was in Oklahoma. So I'm anxious to see the pictures from that. If she doesn't forget, or if they can't find it, it could be torn down. Who knows? It was probably an old house when we got it. All right. I'm going to clean up my hands, and then I'll be back. Okay, so you put that in the oven for 45 minutes, so I got it in there now. And I just wanted to share something with you. This is just some fun little tidbits. This is a scrapbook. It's called Sword Scrapbook. This is number 2. A friend of mine gave me both books, number 1 and number 2, and it's just a conglomeration of wit and humor, quotations, sayings, poems, attention getters, and little short sentence sermons. And I just wanted to share 2 things out of here. This is a cute little story. It goes, a backwoods mountaineer one day found a mirror that a tourist had lost. Well, if it ain't my old dad, he said as he looked in the mirror. I never knew he had his picture took. He took the mirror home, stole it into his house, and hid it in the attic. But his action did not escape his suspicious wife. That night, while he slept, she slipped up to the attic and found the mirror. She said, looking into it. So that's the old hag he's been chasing. I thought that was really cute for Valentine's Day. Those of you folks that have been married long, long time. Anyway, this one is about the rapture. It's a poem I wanted to share with you. And those of you that are watching, you know that we are at the end. We are almost out of here, y'all. Jesus is coming to get us, and I'm so excited. So I wanted to share this. It's called The Rapture, and its author unknown. We shall not all sleep. What ineffable bliss! Some living today who may taste even this. The rapture, the glory, the sudden surprise. One moment immortal, the next in the skies. One moment oppressed by earth's sorrow and strife, the next in the brightness and fullness of life. For changed all shall be when the King in his beauty we see. We shall not all sleep. Oh, my soul, is it thou? For thee, yes, for thee is this hope, even now. A moment, a twinkling, nothing between. The thin veil that hides ere the vision be seen. He cometh, awake, O dull ear. There's shouting in glory, the blessed is near. And changed all shall be when the King in his beauty we see. I'm excited for that day. It's coming soon, y'all, and I can't wait. And it's going to be wonderful being in heaven and away from all this wicked, evil world. It's just getting wickeder by the day, wickeder, but more evil. And everywhere you turn is something. But that doesn't mean that there's still a lot of things to be joyful and thankful for here on earth. And we need to live in these days as if we know that it's our last day. And how would you live if Jesus came and told you you've got a week left? What would you do? Would you just go out and party and live it up and spend all your money? Or would you go out and tell people about Jesus and how important it is that they need to be ready? Sorry. It's coming, y'all, and it grieves me to think of people that are going to die and go to hell because they've rejected Christ. I mean, this is for eternity, y'all. The choice you make about Jesus is for forever. After you die, or if you die before Jesus comes back, there's only one of two places that you're going to go, heaven or hell. There's no in between. There's no annihilation. There's no coming back people think you're going to come back as a different animal or a different person or something. There's all kinds of crazy beliefs out there, but I encourage you to get a Bible. That is God's word, and read it. And especially read the last book, because that's going to tell you exactly what's about to happen on this earth. And it's traumatic, horrendous suffering and judgment like this world has never seen. And it's going to be horrible, y'all. And I don't want that for you. And I know I've got loved ones in my family that are unsaved, distant cousins that have not accepted the Lord. I grew up in mainly a Christian home, and my grandparents were saved, and my parents and most of my aunts. But I know I have some distant relatives that are not saved, and it breaks my heart to think about them burning in hell for eternity. And it's important, y'all. You may think that I'm out of my mind or whatever, and even in the church, it seems like you can't talk to people about the rapture. They look at you like you're strange, or like you've gone a little overboard thinking and talking about the rapture all the time. Oh my goodness, heaven help us that we talk about the rapture. Anyway, I'm excited for the Lord to come back, whether anybody else is or not. And I know there are a lot of you that are ready to go. And I'll be rejoicing with you up there in heaven. But in the meantime, I encourage those of you that have not accepted the Lord to make this the day that you accept him. Valentine's Day. Jesus loves you, and he died on the cross for your sins. And he was buried, and he rose again the third day. And that's the simple gospel. You put your faith in that and the blood that he shed, and you just believe what he did for you, and ask him to forgive you and to save you, and he will. He promised he would. So I hope you do that before it's too late. Anyway, I will be back, and when the timer goes off, and show you the end result as I go dry up my nose and eyes. Just about overflowed the pan. Wow. Check that out. It's all a bubbling. Woo. Can y'all see that? It's hot and bubbly. Nice and crispy brown on top. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's going to be good. Anyway, you might want to use a bit of a bigger pan. And I guess if you're going to take it to a party, you probably should double the recipe because doesn't make a whole lot. So if you don't like the seeds in the blackberries or whatever, just use whatever fruit. I mean, you could probably use canned fruit like apples or something, but it's just kind of like a cobbler. But use whatever, or peaches. Oh, I love peach cobbler. Anyway, I've got Cool Whip. I'm going to dig into this as soon as it settles down a little bit and cools off so I don't burn my mouth out. But I wish I had some vanilla ice cream. That would even be better. I've got cookies and cream. My husband likes to buy cookies and cream. I'm like, can we just get some vanilla? So hopefully y'all go out and try this and tell me what you think. And I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day. And I don't apologize for being emotional on here. Y'all need to think about eternity. If you're not saved, you better be thinking about it. All right. God bless you. And remember, if you're saved, stay prayed up and stay listening up for that trumpet sound and stay looking up for Jesus to come back. All right. God bless you.